rushing only 3, dropping off 8 guys into zones and just covering the entire field, giving Brister no place to throw the ball.
Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Jim and Terry will have all the scores and highlights, plus a preview of Game 5 of the American League Championship Series between Chicago and Toronto. First pitch at 4:10 this afternoon. Greg Gumbel and Jim Cott are in Toronto for that game. And then, of course, tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies are in Atlanta, and that game gets an 8 o'clock airtime with the first pitch at 8:29. Atlanta winning again last night. They have a 2-1 series lead over the Philadelphia Phillies.
It's been kind of a wild first half with the turnovers. The 2 interceptions, one by Dent, one by McMichael. A couple of injuries, a fumble by Brister. And the Eagles have just looked terrible. And the Bears have played very good again on defense.
3rd and 6 with 9 seconds to go. They load up the right side, and Brister is going to have to scramble. Dante Jones gets the sack.
And
4th down. But time has expired. Well, if you're going to play professional athletics in Philadelphia,
you better get used to this sound.
That's a sound to which one grows accustomed. Dave Wanstead out urging his team on. They lead it by 17. We're at halftime. Jim and Terry are next. Ready for the start of the second half with the Chicago Bears kicking off to the Philadelphia Eagles. Von Hebron and Vi Sikahima will be the 2 deep men. Chris Gardocki will do the kickoff chores for the Bears, who lead it 17-0. They got a field goal, a touchdown pass from Harbaugh to Conway, and a touchdown run by Jim Harbaugh. And the Eagles have not threatened. They've also given the ball up 3 times. Here's Gardocki. We're set to go. Each of the last 3 games, the Eagles have trailed by 10 or more and come back to win. See if they can equal that task today. Here's Sikahima. Bob Christian is there to make the tackle inside the 20-yard line at the 17.
The Bears talked about getting Conway involved. He has 2 catches today. One, of course, was that touchdown. That's really good, and Harbaugh's got 1 touchdown. The normal thing is that Hayward and Anderson are getting the ball. But for Philadelphia, this number here is just way too much. Brister's been going back in the pocket and running out of the pocket perhaps a little bit too soon. Those 4 carries, too much for a quarterback.
Here's Bubby Brister under David Alexander. Double tight end set with 1 running back. That's Herschel Walker. Walker gets by Trace Armstrong. Breaks another tackle and surges out to the 31-yard line. A gain of 14. Nice way to start the 3rd quarter for the Eagles.
Well, and Herschel's really been the bright spot for the Eagles. This is 71 yards now for him. And you mentioned how he breaks the tackle. Watch Armstrong come in and try and bring him down with 1 hand. He can't do that. Then he gets in behind his blockers. Carrier can't make the tackle, and Dante Jones is making a tackle 15 yards down the field.
And a 1st and 10, Philadelphia at the 31. Brister, 3rd option, right side, in front of Donnell Wolford. Tackle is made by Victor Bailey, his 2nd catch.
I don't know about you, Vern, but I heard somebody yelling, "Get rid of it, get rid of it." And I got to believe it had to be one of the Eagle coaches along the sidelines, because that's one thing Brister had not been doing in the first half, is getting rid of the ball.
Which one of the coaches?
It might have been that one right there.
2nd down. 17-0 Chicago. Richie Kotite chatting with us yesterday morning about the adversity. He said, "Hey, I had a brain tumor 12 years ago and overcame that, and all the rest of this is okay." Into the flat, Herschel Walker. That tackle made by Vincent Smith, the former Dallas Cowboy.
And I think Kotite's message to Brister at halftime may have been, hey, listen, get back in the pocket, read the defense, throw the ball. The last two plays, that's exactly what he's done, and they're moving the chains.
Well, we've talked a lot, Dan, about their ability to come from behind. Have you seen signs in the first half that they can do that today?
Well, I think the positive is Herschel Walker. I mean, he's running the ball well, but it comes back to number 6. Brister has to be able to perform, especially in these third down conversion situations.
They're 2 of 5 on third downs. Armstrong chases Brister, and he ran out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Oh, and he's going to hear it, too. There's 65,000 coaches that are saying, get rid of it, get rid of it. 3rd and 3, and he takes a 2-yard loss by running out of bounds. Obviously thinking that he didn't want to risk throwing an interception.
End over end, Terry Obie at the 17. Over the shoulder catch. Herschel Walker was the first man down on special teams. Walker just missed, but he did slow him up, and Derek Oden makes the tackle. Hasn't been a banner day if your name is Bubby.
They were booing Bubby as he went off the field, but let's look at it. These are 2 receivers here and 1 right here. The first thing that happens is that Armstrong forces Brister to go deeper than he wanted to, and then of those 3 receivers, he has nobody that he can throw the ball to. This is too difficult to throw to these 2 guys all the way across the field, and this man at the top of the screen is covered.
Bubby Brister absolved. First down. Harbaugh chased, comes right, goes deep, intercepted by Wes Hopkins. Bad throw by Harbaugh. Hopkins gets the pick. No, now they're saying incomplete.
Hey, he laid on the ground a long time with his back to us, so you had to feel that he was trying to get a handle on the ball. The referees came in real late to rule this incomplete. Harbaugh does a nice job of avoiding the sack and getting away from pressure, but this is one of those cardinal sins of playing quarterback. Never throw late over the middle. Tough to tell from that whether Hopkins had it or not. The officials that called it were down the field.
Well, with no instant replay in effect to overrule it, here's Hayward on second down, breaking through left tackle and moving it out to the 37-yard line.
Talked about how Jennings is going to help the Bears running the ball wide. See, they've had a lot of success. This is a 7.5-yard average out here, and not much other success either up the middle or to the right side.
Chicago Bear brain trust, Ron Turner on the left, offensive coordinator. 3rd down and 3. Hayward, first down Bears to the 43-yard line. It was Neil Anderson, 35 instead of 45. Well, although I'm not going to be forgiven for mistaking Neil Anderson for Craig Hayward.
Now you got the 5 part right on the uniform.
Neil Anderson wants to talk to me immediately.
This 5 is a little bit more stretched out.
Yes, it is. There's no excuses offered.
Not many fullbacks wear their waist size as their football jersey number.
First down and 10. Neil Anderson, 35 to the 45-yard line. 17-0. Chicago Giants rolling over Washington. Philadelphia goes to New York next week. Dan and I will be there for that one. Dallas trying to get to 3-2 and right back in the thick of things if they win today. Minnesota over Tampa Bay. Bensy Glenn with 2 more. And what sad news this is. Dan Marino lost for the year with a torn right Achilles tendon.
Terrible, terrible loss to a great player.
And a terrible loss to the league. Harbaugh goes by Joyner. Hopkins gets him around the ankle. And he's down at the 41-yard line, but he picks up 14.